Hello and welcome. My name is Casey and you are tuned in to Super Mega Baseball the fall-winter season. Today it's the home opener where the Moose take on the Freebooters. Sancha Sylvia is on the mound for the Moose. She deals to Patience Evergreen, who sends it on the ground to first to Perry Quaker, who steps on the bag for the first out of the game. Jermaine Raines is doing spectacularly emotionally, but not so great physically. It's a ground ball from him to second base for the second out. Stockton Brickhouse in third, and he is a big beefy boy. He rips a line drive to Tremendo in center field for the third out. Irene Fast pops it up to the shortstop Guns Jackman. Lena Rhymes gives a first pitch slider to Jackson, and he smacks it right back at her up the middle for a base hit. The Moose have a base runner here in the first. Perry Quaker steps in to try and give the Moose an early lead, but it's a ground ball to Jackman at short, 6-4-3, and the Freebooters get out of the inning without any damage done. Thick lad Guns Jackman in, a ground ball in the hole on the left side, a dive from Dingers, he comes up, throw to first, in time for the out. It's a soft ground ball from Oakley Stiffs over to Nacho Crisp, who handles it easily for the second out. The 2-1 from Silvio is a fork ball, and it's sent back up the middle. The Freebooters have their first base runner of the evening. Silvio doesn't have the greatest stats, but she has a really interesting pitch mix, and it's how she mixes those pitches that allows her to be effective, as she gets a ground ball over to Bobbitt here, and that will end the inning for the Moose. Rip Dingers hits this one hard, maybe too hard, or not hard enough, depending on how you look at it. Either way, it's caught by Brickhouse. Bobbitt sends a jam shot over the first baseman, a leap, and he knocks it down. Douchey tosses it over to the pitcher covering, that's 2 away. Nacho Crisp puts his patience on display as he works a walk, but it's all for naught as Jose Tremendo watches a pitch on the up and in corner for strike 3. Fastball up and into Sturdy Woodman, and he sends it high and right into foul territory, but Irene Fast settles under it for the out. Another fastball high and inside to Pomp Douchey, and he swings right under it for the strikeout. Top of the order, and Evergreen sends a ground ball to Fred Bobbitt. Easy throw over to Quaker for the third out. So it's 1-2-3 for the Freebooters in the third inning. Buck Swiner pops it up to the second baseman, settles under it, and makes the grab. Pedro Nixon subbing in at catcher, and he gets a ground ball up the middle for his first at bat and first hit on the year. Nixon and Rhodes are relatively comparable, so it's going to be a battle to see who's the starting catcher this year for the Moose. And Irene Fast sends a line drive out to center field, a slide from Brickhouse, and he can't come up with it. The Freebooters are known to be a little shaky on defense, and so they're hoping they can capitalize on some of that in these games. Hieronymus Jackson can't get around on the curveball, and he pops it up. Who wants it? Oakley Stiffs, the right fielder, gets under it and makes the grab. So it's 2 on, 2 away for Perry Quaker, and he sends it high, but not very far. Oakley Stiffs settles under it and right in, makes the grab. 3 innings in the books, and it's still 0-0. 2-3-4 for the Freebooters in the fourth, and Silvio gets Raines to swing over a changeup for a strikeout, 1 away. Brickhouse, the beefy boy, sends a ground ball over to Crisp at short. He turns, makes the throw over to first in time, 2 down. And now it's the thick lad Guns Jackman, and he is on the ground to Bobbitt. Bobbitt makes a nice play, and he gets the throw over to first, so quick inning for the Moose in the fourth. Rip Dingers hits another ball hard. It is high, it is deep, but it is caught right in front of the warning track. A line drive from Bobbitt into center field. It's a 1-out single. He's followed by Nacho Crisp, who hits a ball hard, but Walker runs, makes a nice diving grab. Bobbitt scuttles back to first. Jose Tremendo with 2 away. It's off the end of the bat, right back at the pitcher, who makes a quick grab for the third out. A line drive, and Dingers dives and knocks it down. He scrambles up to make the throw, but it's not in time, so the Freebooters have a leadoff base runner here in the fifth. Walker runs, follows that up, going the opposite way past Perry Quaker into right field. Irene Fast gets the ball in quickly. Not a lot of speed on the base pass for the Freebooters there, so it's first and second, none out. Silvio needs a ground ball desperately here, but instead it's in the air to right field. Irene makes the grab, and the runners will hold. So now it's first and second with 1 away. Sturdy Woodman lofts a ball down the third base side, and it is a fair ball. This is going to score a run as Stiffs rounds third. Walker runs, heads to third. The Freebooters are first on the board. It's 1-0. Full count to the 9-hitter, and Silvio loses him. Pomp Douchey works a walk, so it's bases loaded for the top of the order. Freebooters threatening with a big inning, and it's a single from Evergreen into left field. Swiner gets the ball in quickly, so it's only going to be one. The bases remain loaded for Jermaine Raines. Raines sends it back up the middle. This is going to get down, and it scores a run. Tremendo scoops it with a throw home. Douchy slides in, and he's safe. So all of a sudden, it is 4-0 for the Freebooters. Brickhouse hits it on a line to Bobbitt. He makes the grab. 2 away now as the runners retreat. That brings Guns Jackman to the plate now, and he drives this one deep, and it is gone. A big home run from the thick lad, Guns Jackman. 468 feet, his first home run on the year, and that puts the Freebooters up 7-0. Oakley stiffs in for the second time this inning, and he floats this over to Swiner and left to mercifully end this 5th inning. Freebooters score 7 and take a massive lead. The Moose have their work cut out for them now as Buck Swiner steps in to try to fight back, and he sends a ball up the middle. He's going to reach safely, so at the very least, the Moose have a leadoff base runner here in the 5th. Pedro Nixon also sends this up the middle. It's past the diving shortstop, so it's back-to-back singles for the Moose. And Irene Fast drives this one down the line. It is carrying, but it is caught on the warning track for the first out. The runners retreat to their bases. First and second, 1 away. The heart of the order needs to spark something here for the Moose, as Hero Jackson works a walk, so at least he keeps the line moving. That'll bring up Perry Quaker with the bases loaded. He is tense. He's been struggling a little bit, and he sends it back up the middle. This will score a run, and it'll just be the one as Brickhouse gets the ball in quickly, but the bases remain loaded, and the Moose get on the board. And now Dinger sends it up the middle, but Jackman makes a diving stop. He gets the out at second. The throw to first, not in time. So the Moose score 1 on the play, and it's 2 away, first and third. Bobbitt, now a ground ball back to Jackman, and this time he just makes the throw to first for the third out. The Moose retaliate with a pair, and it's Silvio back out for the 6th inning. She gets a strikeout on a low and away fastball. Her pitch count is creeping up, but she looks healthy for the time being. Oh, never mind. My goodness, that is going to hurt. Silvio dropped like a sack of bricks, and her night is going to end in dramatic fashion. That's extremely unfortunate for the Moose, and it's Charlie Best coming in to take over for her. And he makes things feel a little better with a strikeout to Sturdy Woodman. 2 away now. And he gets Douchy to swing over a fastball for another strikeout. So it's best case scenario after Silvio is hit by that comebacker. Bottom of the 6th as Moose try to claw their way back in, and Nacho Chris sends this one high and deep. It's going. It is gone. Nacho Crispa. 415 feet. His 3rd home run on this early campaign as Nacho lifts spirits and makes this a 7-3 ball game. That'll bring in the reliever, Grace Lupinovich, who seems to have spent the winter in South America. She's juiced right up as she gets the strikeout on Tremendo. But Buck Swiner doesn't care. He sends this fair just around the third base bag. He rounds first, and he is in there at second with a double. Signs of life from the Moose as Nixon sends this to the shortstop. Swiner's able to move to third on the play, but that's 2 away. A ground ball from Irene to the second baseman, so the Moose leave a runner stranded, but they cash one on the Nacho Crisp home run. Charlie Best back out for the 7th, and a big curveball to Patience Evergreen gets the strikeout, 1 away. Fastball to Jermaine Raines, and he drives this into center field, and a dive from Tremendo, a spectacular play to make the grab for the second out. It's a ground ball from Brickhouse over to Crisp, who makes the throw to first for the third out. So a solid inning from Best as the Moose try to fight their way back into this game. Tremendo sends a ground ball of his own to the shortstop, and that's 1 away for the Moose. Perry Quaker hits one sky high into center field. This is way up there, but it is handled by the center fielder, who looks like he barely had to move out there to make the grab. Dinger sends another one on the ground to Jackman, who handles it for the third out, and the Moose go quietly in the 7th. It's Jackman leading off in the 8th, and he had that big home run back in the 4th to put up a crooked number, but he swings over a pitch from Best, and he is thrown out at first. That'll go down as a strikeout. Oakley stiffs with a high fly ball, but Fast settles under it in shallow right and makes the grab. Charlie Best is still working, and he has been used a lot early this season, but he is on fire, and he gets a line drive to right. Fast is there to make the grab for the third out. Bobbitt steps in against Lupinovic, and he gets one up the middle. This is going to get down for another single for Bobbitt. He's having himself a good day. Nacho Crisp hoping to repeat his last at-bat, but this one is up and short as can be. The catcher calls for it and makes the grab. Jose Tremendo still trying to find his bat, and he doesn't seem to have it as he goes down looking again tonight. 2 away for Swiner, and he sends a looper to right field. This is easily caught for the 3rd out, so the Moose waste their leadoff single, and they go into the top of the 9th down by 4. It's Carla Tolbear in to try and finish this one out, and she starts off her outing with a strikeout for Bad Hot Brown, 1 away. Woodman drives one the other way, and this gets down in left field as the Freebooters look to add a little extra insurance here in the 9th. Douchey swings over a slider, and that's 2 outs for Tolbear. Top of the order, and Evergreen sends a one-hopper over to Crisp, who makes the play. So the Moose keep the score where it is, and we're going into the bottom of the 9th, but they need a bunch. It's 7-3. Pedro Nixon rips this into left center, though. This will find the gap, and he has no speed whatsoever, but he takes the turn for 2, and he'll slide in there with a leadoff double for the Moose in the 9th. Top of the order for the Moose as they need to get a rally going, but Irene pops it up, and the 3rd baseman calls for it. The runner retreats to 2nd. Out is made, 1 away. The Freebooters bring in their all-star closer, K Freakman, to try and lock this up, but Tremendo drives this one deep. It is going back, and it is caught at the wall. Oh, that was so close. Nixon retreats to 2nd, and there's 2 away now. Last hope for the Moose is in Perry Quaker, and he can't get all of this one. It is going deep, but not deep enough. It is held in the park and held in the glove of Patience Evergreen, and that is the ball game. So the Moose get their first loss on the season, 7-3. Really disappointing, just that one crooked inning that went up. Otherwise, a spectacular game from the Moose. But the Moose have an opportunity to retaliate, so let's jump into Game 2 of this 2-game set. Raul Strikes is the starter for Game 2 for the Moose, and he walks the leadoff batter, so not a great start for him. But he handles a comebacker from Brickhouse, throws it to 2nd, over to 1st, double play, so immediately erasing that mistake, and it's 2 away. Oakley stiffs up, and it's a ground ball to Nacho Crisp, who handles it well, and that's 3 out. So after the leadoff walk, the Moose keep it scoreless in the 1st. Line drive from Irene Fast, handled by Patience Evergreen in left field, 1 away. A line drive from Jackson the other way, and Stiff slides but can't come up with it. That weak defense biting them again, and so Jackson is on in the 1st. Perry Quaker barrels up a curveball. This is sent out to center field, but Stockton Brickhouse there to make the grab, and Jackson retreats to 1st. Ripdinger's struggling to get anything going early in this season, and he sends this high into left field, and Evergreen settles under it for the out. Jackman gets a fastball right down the middle. He sends this deep to center field. Tremendo dives, but he can't come up with it. Jackman rounds, and he is in there standing at 2nd base with a leadoff double for the Freebooters. Woodman gets a fastball he can handle as well, and he sends this into the gap in left center, and this is going to score a run for sure. So it's back-to-back doubles for the Freebooters, and they take an early lead in this game, 1-0. Raul Strikes fighting to stay in this game. He deals to Walker Runs, who pops it up into no man's land. This is going to be a tough play, but Bobbitt gets there just in time to make the out. Range drives this one over the head of Bobbitt into the gap, and this is going to score another run. Raines holds it 1st with a single, but it's 2-0 for the Freebooters now in the 2nd. A well-placed curveball on the outside edge gets Bad Hot Brown to swing over it for the 2nd out. Pompdouchy looking to turn it over to the top of the order, and he lofts a loopy one, and this gets down for a single in center field. So it's 1st and 2nd, 2 away, and top of the order for the Freebooters. Evergreen swings over a changeup on the outside for the strikeout, and so the Freebooters leave 2 on, but score 2. Bobbitt in for the Moose, and he sends this one high and not very far. Stiff settles under it and makes the grab in right. Nacho Crisp is one of the few batters who are feeling good for the Moose, and he works a walk, so they got a base runner in the 2nd. And he is followed by Nixon, who also works a walk, so it's back-to-back base runners for the Moose, and they need to try and capitalize here. Tremendo sends this one high into foul territory, but Stiffs is able to get over and make the grab, and the runners stay put where they are at 1st and 2nd. Buck Swiner also pops this one up, handled by the second baseman. And so the Moose get 2 on, but leave them both stranded in the second. They trail 2-0. So the Moose come away with nothing there. It's the 3rd inning, and Brickhouse sends this back up the middle, immediately back on the offense for the Freebooters. He's in with a single. Oakley Stiffs now gets a fastball up, and he drives this one into the gap. This is going to be dangerous for the Moose. Tremendo gets the ball in quick, and they're going to hold the runner at third. 2 runners in scoring position and none away. Guns Jackman to the plate, and Raul pitches around him. Maybe not such a bad idea with first base open, but now it's bases loaded, 0 out, and Sturdy Woodman sends this one over to a diving Bobbit who makes the grab. Second to first, not in time, so they only get the 1 out, and a run scores. Walker runs, puts this up the middle now, so another run's going to come in, and the Freebooters are starting to really pile on again in game 2. Moose need a ground ball here desperately, and they get one from Rains to Quaker. He sends it over to second, and it is in time at first for the double play, so they get out of some serious trouble, but the Freebooters score another 2. It's 4-0. Irene fast on the ground to the shortstop, and she goes down. So it's Hero Jackman now, and the Moose really need to show some signs of life here, but he sends another one to Jackman at short, and it's 2 away. Rather swell to Quaker, big curveball, and Quaker sends this out to center field, but Brickhouse gets to it, and they go 1-2-3 in the 3rd. So after 3, the Moose are struggling to get anything going. They just have the 1 hit, and they trail the Freebooters 4-0. Raul strikes back out for the 4th. His pitch count looks okay, but the pitch count isn't really the problem. He gets a ground ball over to 3rd here, though, for an easy first out in the 4th. Pomp Duchy in now for the Freebooters, and he sends us to right field, and Irene can't get to it in time, so it's another single for the Freebooters, and they've been on every inning so far this game. Over to Crisp on a line drive, and so that's 2 away. Duchy gets back to first, and that brings up Stockton Brickhouse. And softly over to Quakers, so the Moose hold the Freebooters in this inning and keep it at 4. Rip Dingers, who is really struggling mentally right now, he is rattled. He sends this high into left field, and it'll be handled by the left fielder. Fred Bobbitt gets a hold of this one, makes solid contact, but Stockton is going to get there in time in center field for 2 outs. Nacho Chris gets a single here, though. This one goes up the middle, and Brickhouse picks it up on the ground. So the Moose have a base runner here in the 4th at least, something to do. Pedro Nixon makes good contact, but it's right at Pomp Duchy, who catches it on the line for the 3rd out. And this one now on the ground. Bobbitt makes a nice dive over to first, and it is in time for out number 1. Great defensive play by Bobbitt. In the air now to right field, and fast gets there for the 2nd out. Sturdy Woodman sends this a lofty ball into center field, but Tremendo slides and makes the grab. So some solid defense from the Moose, but they need to find some offense, and Tremendo cannot do that. It's another strikeout for him. Buck Swiner up in the air. Story of the night. It's been all pop flies as Patience Evergreen settles under this one and makes the grab. And Irene Fast sends this on the ground to Duchy at 3rd, who gets her at 1st, and the Moose still can't get anything started in the 5th. Strikes back out for the 6th, and this one is lofted over Dingers. He touches it but can't squeeze it, and it gets down. So they're on with another single on another consecutive inning for the Grapplers, and that's going to be the end of Raul's strikes night. It's Carlo Tolbear in to try and keep things where they are in the 6th, and Walker runs, leaves for second, and he is in there easily. So a stolen base for the Freebooters puts a runner in scoring position with none away, and Rain sends this over to Quaker down the first base line. So Runs moves up to 3rd with 1 away, and Bad Hot Brown steps in to try and cash that runner over to Bobbin on a line, and he makes the grab. So Runs is forced to stay at 3rd. The Moose looking to get out of this jam here, and it's Pomp Duchy coming to try and punish them. And he puts this one into right field. No one's going to get there, so the run is going to score, and the Freebooters are up 5-0 now in the 6th. Patience Evergreen, top of the order, up the middle. Chris makes the grab over to first, and he gets the out in time. Hieronymus Jackson trying to get something going for the Moose here, and he sends this into center field, but it will be caught easily by Brickhouse. Outfield putting in great work for the Freebooters tonight. Quaker barrels this one. It's going to deep center field, but Brickhouse ranges back and makes the grab, 2 away. Rip dingers, a hard line drive to Douchy. He is struggling to get anything onto the ground, as Carla Tolbert now gets a strikeout to get something back for the Moose. They're going to need some solid defense to keep them in this game, and it's a line drive to Bobbitt, so 2 away here. It's Guns Jackman, and he's on the ground to Nacho Crisp, who can't come up with it. A good diving effort from Crisp, but Jackman is on now with 2 away. Woodman looks to keep the 2-out rally going, and it looks like he does. This one is up the middle and into center field. It's going to be at least a single. Woodman turns to 2. Jackman is held at 3, so it's 2nd and 3rd now with the Freebooters, and that is going to end Tolbert's night. Charlie Best comes in to do what he does. He is on fire, and he has been stellar for the Moose so far. He gets a ground ball to Crisp and gets him out of the inning. It's the 7th inning stretch, and the story of this game is the hits column. 12 for the Freebooters and just 2 for the Moose, as the Freebooters lead 5-0. Fred Bobbitt looking to change that, and he skies this out to center field, and Brickhouse makes another grab tonight. Pitching change for the Grapplers. Steamboat Westell comes in as he gets Nacho Crisp to line out to Jackman, and this might be problematic. He is absolutely excellent. But Pedro Nixon steps into one, and this is deep to center field. It will be off the top of the wall, so Nixon rounds and heads to second, and he is in there with a stand-up double, so one of the lone high points for the Moose early in this game. Tremendo looks to cash in on that, and he drives this one to right field. This might burn him, and it gets down, so Nixon is going to come in to score, and Tremendo is rounding second. He is heading to third, and he is in there with a triple, so the Moose are on the board. It's 5-1 now, and Swiner sends this on the ground to Douchy over to third, so it's just the one for the Moose in the 7th, but they are on the board for the first time this game as Charlie Best comes back and gets a strikeout to start the 8th. Bad Hot Brown pops this up into left, and Swiner is under it for the out, 2 away. 9th hitter now, Pomp Douchy, and he sends this over to the right side. Quaker makes the grab for the 3rd out. The Moose showing some signs of fight and life here in the 8th. Irene Fast gets a looper into center field. This gets down, and so they have a leadoff base runner and a quick one to boot. Weissel deals to Jackson. It's a high fastball. Jackson swings under it for the out. 1 away. Harry Quaker in now, and he sends this on the ground over to second for the 1st out, and the slow Quaker gets doubled up at 1st. So the Moose have a leadoff base runner but do nothing with it in the 8th inning. Moose look to their bullpen, and it's going to be Felix Farmhand coming in for the Moose. This is his debut for the team. He is obviously the weakest length, but down 4, they don't want to risk hurting any of their pitchers as Farmhand gets a ground ball to Quaker. And Brickhouse lines this one into right field. Irene with a dive, but she can't come up with it. This means Brickhouse is going to run for extra bases. Not a lot of speed, though, so no concern about the triple. He's only held to 2. A slider from Farmhand to Stiffs now, and he sends this into right. Irene Fast manages it quickly, then cuts it off, so it's 1st and 3rd with 1 away in the 9th, and Guns Jackman comes to the plate. And he clobbers this one to deep left field. This one is miles out of here. The Freebooters add some insurance in the 9th with a 3-1 home run from Guns Jackman. 452 feet into straight center field. Freebooters look like they put this one out of touch here as Farmhand gets a strikeout, but that's kind of irrelevant at this point. Ground ball over to Bobbitt, who dives and makes the grab. Good to see that effort still coming through as they get 3 away. But the Moose are trailing 7 to the Freebooters in the 9th here as Rip Dingers skies this one to center field. Another ball for Brickhouse tonight as he makes the grab. Fred Bobbitt barrels this one, and this one's going over to left field. It is going to sneak out of here. A home run for Fred Bobbitt. A little consolation prize for him in this game. A 9th inning home run, 386 feet for his first home run of the year. And the Moose trail 8-2. Nacho Crisp sends this on the ground to the first baseman Woodman, who steps on the bag, 2 away. And they're down to their last hope now in Pedro Nixon. And he skies it up, a fitting end to this game, full of pop flies. to Oakley Stiffs and Wright, who makes the grab to end the ball game. A disappointing home opener for the Moose as they are simply out-hit by the Freebooters. They dropped 2 games to them in this set. But hope is not lost. My name's Casey, and I will see you next time when the Moose try to redeem themselves in a 3-game set against the Moonstars.